Okay, question of the day. We are starting spooky season.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. What is your scariest Disney? I'm going to leave it wide open. Can be a ride, a moment of a ride. It could be a situation that you walk into. It could be anything. What is Disney scary to you?
It has to be park related?
No.
No.
Just Disney scary to you.
Something Wicked This Way Comes.
Tell me more.
It is an older movie, and I haven't seen it for a very long time because the last time I watched it, it scared me. But I think like Betty Davis is in it, maybe like old Betty Davis. I need to look this up. Hold, please. Somebody else can go.
Okay.
Okay. I think that, remember how we did After Hours?
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrowland at night is creepy as hell. I don't know what it was, but sometimes I just think about that. Like when we went on Space Mountain and when we left, and it was like there was no one around when we got off that ride. And it was just really creepy, and I didn't like the way. Like, because some parts of the park during the night is so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, right there, it didn't feel good in the moment.
Okay. Lariah, Disney scary.
My first reaction is to say the crowds
Ooh, that's a good one.
might be the spookiest thing there. But if you're looking for a real answer, I would say when you're going through Tower of Terror, like going to the drop part, it reminds me of a scary movie, and I was pretty spooked.
Makes you nervous,
part.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That's good storytelling right there.
Mm-hmm. Amazing.
And you know what's coming, and it just, like, the hairs are on the back of your neck are standing up, the whole bit. You're right. That's scary and lovely all at the same time. Okay. Do you want to go back to yours?
Yes.
Okay.
So the original version of the film was made in 1972, and it is a Ray Bradbury story.
Okay.
But the synopsis is strange things start to happen when Mr. Dark's Pandemonium Carnival arrives in Greentown.
Ooh.
So many things that you
Sounds
love
cool.
in that. Carnivals come with clowns.
No. No. Not
And-
even a little bit.
What's the name of it again?
Something Wicked This Way Comes.
And what ties it to Disney?
Well, I saw it for sale once on Shop Disney.
There you go.
Well, there it is.
I mean, it didn't make any sense to me either, but I saw it, so there it is.
There it is. If it was once tied to Disney, it's always tied to Disney, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to go a little cheesy on my scary Disney. My scary Disney is going to Disney World or Disneyland without any kind of a plan.
Excellent point.
Ooh.
Yep.
That just terrifies me because it's so easy to get lost in the moment and miss out on the things that you really want to do if you'd spend no time planning. Now, if we lived in Orlando, I would love to go in without a plan. But when you get to go once every 4, 5, 6 years, having a plan of your must-dos is vital, and not having it is terrifying.
Agree. I also think that over-planning is a little bit scary because it's very easy to get bogged down in the details so that you don't have any fun at all because you're so regimented of we have to do this and we have to do this and we have 15 minutes and 35 seconds for this and that's all.
Yep.
Yeah, and we have some podcast episodes where we explain that, where if you over plan, you're not going to have a great time. You got to find that happy
Yep.
medium. So
And
I
it's
completely
there.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah, we always recommend just giving people the advice that each person going needs to pick out their 3, 4, 5 must-dos that's going to make it a great trip. And then you make sure you do those things. Everything else is gravy. That's the kind of plan you need to have.
Yep.
Welcome to Hanging at the Hangar Bar. I'm Scott.
I'm Candace.
I'm Lariah.
And I'm Lacey. Grab a drink and come hang with us at the Hangar Bar.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hanging at the Hanging Bar.
The what?
Hanger.
I mean, we're in spooky season.
It is
but good
spooky season.
Lord.
Oh.
That's a good one.
Do.
Oh my goodness. Sorry.
We're going to have to
Excuse-
include trigger warnings.
Seriously. I cannot talk.
We do not condone violence of any sort.
No, not at all. Excuse me. Hanging at the Hangar Bar. Hangar Bar.
Yes.
Yes.
There we go.
There it is.
We are excited to have you here. We're all together again.
Yay!
Woohoo!
Woot.
So, for today's episode, it is the first episode to kickstart our spooky season array of episodes.
That's a fancy word.
Thank you.
She fancy.
So, we'll be talking about some ghosts, some paranormal experiences, and some myths that are pretty creepy. All happening at Disney World.
Ooh.
So they say. Dun, dun, dun.
She comes with her own theme music.
I do. Okay. So,
He even has his own theme music.
Squeak, squeaking, squeak, squeakity.
oh my goodness.
I am so glad I was unconscious for all of this.
When he's in the back.
Is that my voice?
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, you're losing control. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. So today I thought we would kickstart the season off with talking about one of the most notorious spirits at Disney World. Keep in mind that this is purely speculation, but it's real enough to a lot of Disney people, such as ourselves, that it has become quite a story. So today we're going to be talking about George from the Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
George.
He is very infamous, and if you ask any Disney person, they could tell you, "Oh, I know George." He sounds like a pretty cool guy, very active, and I'm gonna tell you about him right now.
So are we going to learn who George is / was?
Yes.
Okay.
So, like I said, George is known as a spirit on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, and Disney has never confirmed nor denied his existence, but you will surely hear a cast member say, "Good morning, George," or "Farewell, George," either opening the ride or closing the ride if they do not want any malfunctions to occur.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is this at Pirates in Orlando or Anaheim?
Orlando.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, so to tell you a little bit about George, there is not much that we know about him because there have been no records of a man named George that ever worked on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. So
Maybe it was Jorge.
Oh,
Yeah, can you please look that up, Jorge?
yes, I will.
Jorge.
Excuse me. I will get back to you on that.
Thank you.
Or perhaps Georg.
Georgie Porgy.
Yeah, maybe he had a nickname that they don't have record of.
Geo.
Okay, so in some articles I read, they say George was an Imagineer that was hired on for the Pirates ride, while other articles say he was just a construction worker hired on to be a welder for the Pirates ride. Either way, though, he met a horrible fate while working on that ride, which means he is now deceased. He is departed.
His last name Glass.
Don't know. All right, you silly. Enough with your jokes. Oh, okay. Actually, I dare you to make a joke about George the next time we go on Pirates.
Wait.
Triple dog.
I don't
dare
know
you.
that we want to make a joke about George.
I don't
Is
think
that a
you.
threat?
You're probably going to get into this, but doesn't he like break down the ride?
Yes.
Let's
Yeah,
not
don't.
be doing that. We've talked about ruining other people's vacations before. Let's not do that.
I was just asking what his last name was.
George Glass.
I wouldn't even. He is he is a spirit that loves to be acknowledged, but does not take too well to any sort of jokes about him. So I'd watch yourself. As a warning to
Can you
all of our
check
viewers as well.
yourself?
Is
He
he
might.
listening to this podcast?
He
Is
might.
he a subscriber to this podcast?
Yo ho.
Maybe.
Maybe.
All right.
Okay.
He's not a financial supporter of the podcast. I know that.
George.
Is
Come
there
on,
a Spirit
George.
Spotify?
Okay. So, from what I read,
Spirit Fi.
Stop. Let Lariah continue.
Please invent that.
yes.
Spirit fat.
They should just rename it that for all of October.
I think so.
And like anytime you open it, it plays some like Halloween music or some spooky music or something. That would be
That'd
hilarious.
be amazing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. Okay, so there are a couple different stories about how George met his untimely fate. And one of those stories is that he was crushed by a beam that fell. Ouch.
Ouch.
That sounds horrible.
Others say that he fell from a tower that is actually named George's Tower on the ride. And it is the tower that you see during the burning city scenes with all the windows. The really tall one.
Oh.
George Crash.
I'm going to give you one more
I'm going to give you one more chance.
One more.
I just want to know his last name.
I will rip October away from you.
Stanley. Take Christmas away from Jim.
You can't cancel a holiday.
Oh wait, it's Jim.
Yeah.
Take
But it's
Christmas
okay.
away from my Corona is
What?
working.
Oh, your beverage.
My Corona.
Goodness gracious. Anyhoozle. So, another interesting fact about George's Tower is that people say his initials are carved into it, and no matter how hard they try to get rid of them, they always seem to come back. So, could it be a vandal? A George Vandal? Could it be...
So we at
A
least know
spirit.
his last initial.
Yeah, what is it?
I don't know. This is all speculation.
Okay. Did you get this off of Wikipedia?
Yes.
Okay. This is making sense.
So if you get a backstage tour, like if you pay the like $500 per person for a tour, do you think they would take you backstage of Pirates if you asked them to look at at George's initials?
I don't know, because it would have to be something that would not disrupt the ride.
Right.
And real people walking around back there would.
Well, they could
definitely
dress you up as a pirate. We need to win the lottery because we
do.
could be like, we'll just dress up as pirates, but we want to go see George's initials.
Like, I want to hang out with the costume.
Look at us.
That's the cast member costume people. Thank you.
Love it.
I want to hang out with the costume people and have them outfit me for everything,
Right.
and then just like change costumes so I can just go anywhere I want and just blend right in.
Yeah, you could spend an afternoon as the redhead in Pirates.
I could.
You could sell chickens.
No.
You want to go back to the original? You want to
No.
be the one being sold?
No. No, No, but I don't. Chickens scare me.
We have gotten completely off track again from what Lariah was trying to accomplish
I'm
at this
so
episode.
sorry.
That's okay. Like I said, it's not a very long story, so it's okay.
I wonder how many times people are going to have to listen to this to actually hear the whole story and not just go off on our rant.
Shut up, damn it. I want to hear the story.
Maybe I'll publish 2 versions of this one with all of our color
cut and the
commentary
uncut.
cut out, and then put just so it's the cohesive story, and then the one with the rest of our stuff in it.
Hey, if you're a subscriber, you get the cut without our annoying commentary.
Yes, subscribe today.
Unless that's what you want. Maybe we give the cut version to everybody else, and our amazing banter is what our subscribers get.
Yeah.
And that way they could be a part of an inside joke someday.
Right.
Love to be a part
The
of one of
choice
those.
is yours. You have 24 hours.
This is why we got into this podcast, by the way.
I know. It's therapy.
Cheaper than therapy.
All right. So, like I said, George is a very active spirit, and he has to be acknowledged, or else he gets upset.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, some of the things he does is he will cause the ride to malfunction if he doesn't get noticed or if you make jokes or poke fun at him. Believe me, people have tried, and it did not turn out well.
This is so wrong, but it's like an intrusive thought. Now, when we go back, it's going to be hard not to say
Not on a water
something.
ride, please.
Sorry.
And make sure it's late in the day so you don't ruin other people's vacation.
Yeah.
Or, we 3 could go without you. Or 4 of us could go with you, and then you could go again by yourself.
I like that idea.
Okay.
Just sit in the back of one of the boats and make jokes about George.
Yeah.
To a stranger.
When you're just loading into the boat, just turn and be like, have I got a story for you?
It is your lucky day to be sitting next to me, let me tell you.
You're going to need me to be the one to do that, aren't you?
They're going to kick you off the ride.
Yeah, if you get banned from the park, we're not saving you.
See, but I know Lacey, she needs me to come along to break the ice and do the introduction.
Yes.
Like, look. Listen. This is what's going to happen on this version of this ride.
On this version of this ride.
If you do not want this, there's an exit.
Please don't have someone walk in at that last part. Make sure everyone's in the boat for the entire thing. Not you screaming. If you don't want this,
If you don't want this, there's the exit. Okay, Karen.
I think I'm busy that day.
That's going to be your Hollywood Studios day.
No. I'll just go sit at the tiki room for a while. Be like, yeah, they got kicked out of Pirates and the park 'cause they're harassing people. Telling them to use the exit if they don't want this.
oh goodness.
Anyway,
There is honestly not much more to say about George. I know that people have heard footsteps and they've seen apparitions, and I read that he especially takes well in taunting female guests.
Ooh, I wonder why.
So, George is a pervert.
If you don't want this, the exit's that way.
All right. Well, George,
great story.
Thank you.
Yeah.
you know, I don't recall anybody saying George, do you, when we would get on the ride?
No, I don't, but I think like they do it when they first open the ride in the morning, like when they start and do the test run for it, and then at night when they shut it down, they'll wish him well.
So it's
For
not
the night.
every.
No.
Okay. That makes more sense.
Ooh, I just Googled George. So
What's
in
his last
addition,
name?
it doesn't say. Ghostly footsteps when no one else is around. Somebody said there are phone calls from the empty control room with nobody on the other end.
That's creepy.
Yeah. Full body apparitions appear throughout the ride. Is that just somebody drunk singing an animatronic?
They're everywhere.
They had just a little bit too much to drink at Skipper Canteen.
That's us.
I know that there was also something about the dog's cage, where the dog and the cage are, that if they don't, like, lock the cage, then that upsets George, and he will, like run loose and start breaking things down on the
Running
ride.
amok.
Mm-hmm.
Amok.
So apparently in the tower that she was talking about,
George's Tower.
George's Tower, you can tell if George is there because it usually doesn't have a light. But if the light's on, it means George is there watching over.
Ooh. Okay, so listeners, have you had an experience with George? Anything that we've said, have you experienced this on the ride? Because I kind of wish we knew this before our last trip so that we kind of could have kept our eyes open for this. I am the skeptic of the group because you, Scott, you're a believer in ghosts and
Oh, yeah.
spirits, right? Okay. I think it's a defense mechanism for myself that I can always find a logical explanation, even though Candace has some really good stories that, like, she has experienced that still give me goosebumps to this day. Like, I can recall them, but I personally have never experienced anything, and I think that is what it would take for me to be a believer, a firm believer. But I know I'm getting looks in the room.
This coming from the woman that has a ghost tattooed on her arm.
Yes. I want to believe.
But it's not pirate shaped.
So it's not George. She didn't even know about George until tonight. She can't get a tattoo of George until she
now
knows
she
about
can.
him.
His name is now George. George Glass. George Crash.
Oh my god.
Just kidding. George. Mr. George Pirate. So when was the pirate ride built?
In the 70s.
In the 70s.
Like, it was
And that's
not
when
original
his
Disney
incident
World.
occurred.
No, it was not. 75?
75, 76, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I am going to take a wild guess and say that it was George's idea to put the drop.
The terrifying death drop.
I would say it was probably not George's idea.
If he was an Imagineer, it might have been.
Well, maybe so. It's time for Disney Trivia with Candace. But even still, that's just architectural necessity
Yeah.
because they had to get it under the train tracks.
All right.
I love that drop.
That
I do
was
not.
That's my favorite drop
Well-
at Disney.
that was like a nugget of trivia that you just dropped out of nowhere. Did you guys catch that?
Yeah.
Like that, oh yeah, that happened because of blah blah blah. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. She knows the mechanics of the rides. It's insane.
That's why I'm the map.
And the most
Exactly.
terrifying 13-foot
Not just an
drop
ear rack,
ever.
my friend. Not just an ear rack.
Oh, that's too funny. Okay.
So interesting. But so, like, next time we go, I feel like we almost have to pay homage to George somehow. Just because of all the good times that we've had on the ride.
We could have T-shirts that say "Hello, George," or
That's a good. And on the back it says "Farewell, George."
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
There it is. And that would be like so deep because I'm a big fan of deep Disney.
Amen to
Yes.
It would be deep enough for those that know, and everybody else is like, who the hell is George?
I want us to start selling merch because I just had the perfect T-shirt idea.
We also just had the perfect T-shirt idea.
No, I'm riffing and building upon that.
It's better
like,
than that.
Have a pirate flag with Mickey on it that says "Hi, hello, George" on the front and "Farewell, George" on the back. So have it be a pirate flag like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh,
but
cute.
have it be a Mickey face.
I
Yes.
love that.
Yes. Absolutely.
That could be hanging at the Hangar Bar merch.
What about like Ahoy George?
Yes.
Yes.
Ahoy, George, and fare thee well.
Bam. Look at that. If anybody takes that idea.
That
TM.
TM copyright patent pending.
You shouted it.
Damn. We did it here first.
TM. Junk.
If you steal our idea, we will sue you.
No, that is perfect.
Oh,
And
we
perfect
have
for
to.
Spooky season.
Yeah. I love it.
Uh-oh.
And we could even do like a font that kind of looks kind of piratey.
Yes.
Yes, for sure.
Love it. Loving this.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else, Lariah, about George that you want us to know?
No.
Okay.
Just don't poke fun at him and be nice.
Well,
be nice to your
George.
ghostly friends.
That's
Yes.
right.
Okay.
They're everywhere.
They are.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for listening. We appreciate you more than you know. Let us know. What do you think of George?
And do you want us to make merch?
Yeah. And do you want us to make merch? Would you buy our merch? Let us know on Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, email, text.
Text.
Who are they
Scroll.
texting? They're not scroll.
What?
Marble tablets. However
Pony
you want to
Express.
communicate with us. Yeah. Pony Express.
Carrier pigeon.
Yeah, owl.
..
Morse code.
Yeah.
Morse code. Telepathy.
Message in
Ooh,
a
yeah.
bottle.
Let us know telepathy. That's I
Send
love
a
the
fax and send it over on a dinosaur.
Page, beeper.
Yeah, I love it. All the ways. You
Yeah.
can get in contact with us in all the ways. If you need any of those numbers, just let us know. But you'll have to do it on Facebook, Instagram, or Reddit.
Yeah, don't show up at our front door.
We will call the police.
And remember, there is a great, big, beautiful tomorrow, even in spooky season.
We'll see you real soon.